You know, you are aware that when we speak about Modi ki guarantee is inside the country, Modi ki guarantee is outside the country. Whenever any Indian travels abroad, this guarantee Modi gives. I mean, they can take the travel insurance, but they get a free guarantee from Modi. Okay? The free guarantee from Modi is whatever trouble you are in, we are there for you. So, and we have shown it. We have shown it in Ukraine, we showed it in Sudan, we have shown it repeatedly during COVID. Now, these people were on a Portugal flag ship. The ship was taken over in the seas by an Iranian force. The ship was directed to then proceed to Iran. Yesterday night, I spoke to my Iranian counterpart. I pressed him. I said, there are 17 crew members from India, and it is, we are making the point to the Iranian government that these people should be released, that they should not be detained. I understand, and after that there have been some follow-up conversations between our embassy and the Iranian authorities. I'm getting some reports, but for me, until first point is, I want our embassy people to actually go there and meet these people. That is when that will be my first point of satisfaction. Secondly, I would like, I would absolutely press for these people to come back to India as quickly as we can. I'm quite, my colleague, at least Iranian counterpart, was quite responsive. He said, okay, I understand it. I will try and do something to help you. To constantly remind them that this consulate should be done quickly, because I tell them whenever you do the consulate, I would like to come here on behalf of Prime Minister Modi, because this was a request which Prime Minister Modi had got done when he went on a state visit to America in June last year. On your second question, about an individual who may be a candidate. Look, it's not for me to talk about individual candidates. I think every candidate has a record. I think at a time of election, people look at the record. And by the way, every party has a record. So if a party actually opposes the abrogation of 370, but doesn't have the courage to mention it in its manifesto, if a party which is soft on terrorism, which actually said after 26/11 happened, we weighed the plus and minus and decided best thing is not to attack, because not to attack was better policy than to attack. So if you have a weak record on Kashmir, if you have a weak record on counter-terrorism, then, naturally the selections would reflect, what is the core thinking of the party. So I will leave it at that. On the Iran-Israel issue, look, we have been telling both of them, saying, please do not allow this to escalate. That this is a very, very crucial region for the global economy. For India today, there are today almost 1 crore, 90 lakh Indian citizens who live in this part of the world. A large part of our shipping passes through this part of the world. Our oil comes from this part of the world. So this is a enormously sensitive region. So we are very concerned when there is this kind of escalation in hostilities. So our effort has been to tell both of them to calm down. So yesterday I made a phone call to both, not only Iran, I also called up my Israeli counterpart. So we also understand that they have concerns. So I'm not saying that, there isn't a ground for today the countries involved. I'm only saying that for the rest of the world, and definitely for India, we would like to find ways of de-escalating the situation, urging them to get back to what it is. I'm hopeful that it will go in that direction.
Thank you.
To the drought relief issue. Regarding Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, you see, on Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, I don't want to go into how POK happened. We all know what happened in 1949, under which government we agreed to a ceasefire, who made the mistake of going to UN. That is history. Okay. So we have a situation. The Parliament of India unanimously has passed a resolution to which everybody, every citizen, every political party of this country is committed to, which is that POK is part of India. So when it is so clear, I think it is self-evident. What I think is interesting to note now is the same POK which was first allowed to happen in the 1940s, which then went out of public discourse, which in 1990s there was a parliament resolution, which again went out of public discourse between 2004 and 2014. In fact, there were discussions which were going on with Pakistan at that time. And whenever those discussions become public, you will see all the very little of the discussion is about POK. The UPA was discussing about Jammu and Kashmir. It was not discussing about POK. But put that aside. Right now, I would say what is most important is that POK is back in the public discourse. The very fact you are asking me a question shows that Modi Sarkar has actually today led a change of mindset in this country. So thank you for spreading that awareness. And I hope that many more of you will take a strong nationalistic posture when it comes to issues of India's interest.
Akash from ANI.
No, look, when you have challenges, in a globalized world, no country can be safe from big challenges. So what happens when there is challenge? You have to prepare for the challenge. And when you come to the challenge, you have, frankly, the guts to take the right decision. Okay? I am putting it to you that in the Modi government, I have the Prime Minister who has the guts. And I have a Prime Minister who is constantly telling this nation to prepare. I'll give you an example. If we had not had the guts to buy oil from Russia, all of you would have paid, I don't know, maybe another 20 rupees more for the petrol that you would have been filling in your tanks. It may have been a foreign policy decision, but every citizen of this country was actually impacted. So today, and I can give you many more decisions like this, that today, even if you look at, we are here in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, I think more than any other city in the world, the importance today of technology collaborations, of foreign investments, of today making India a design hub or an engineering hub. Now, how does that happen? It happens because we build good relations, trusted relations with other countries, and other countries say, okay, this India is a good partner. So today, after years, today, in 2007, Intel came to India saying we want to set up a foundry in this country. And we did not agree, and they went to China and Vietnam instead. So today, after 15 years, 17 years, we are actually rectifying that mistake. That you have today with the Taiwanese company, the establishment of a foundry. We are looking, in fact, at the entire semiconductor chain. But people will only come if they trust you, if there is a strong diplomatic connection with you. So we are today, we have to make, in a difficult world, we have to make the preparations, we should have the friends, we should have the courage to have the right decisions, make the right decisions. I think that's exactly why we are telling people, please vote keeping in mind a very difficult world. Please make sure you have a Prime Minister whose hands are strengthened by 400 par. That is the answer.
Okay. Next. Ravindra Rishmail.
Well, first of all, what our programs in many ways are national. Of course, many programs have a state version of it. So I don't agree with you when you describe it as competitive populism. I think there is competitive populism. Competitive populism is when you make promises which you know you cannot deliver and then you cannot deliver, and that is exactly what we are seeing in Karnataka. We are seeing competitive populism at the state government level. But do not confuse this with what the programs have been done by the central government. Because I'll give you an answer. Look, I was a member of the cabinet. I was part of a group of ministers who dealt with COVID. When we dealt with COVID, one of the big issues we looked at was 100 years ago when Spanish flu came, more people in India died of starvation than they died of the flu. So when we looked at COVID, we saw many people going back to their homes. We cannot let them be without food. Now, if I am giving 5 kilograms of free rice or wheat or whatever it is, and dal and from time to time other things, this is not populism. This is a basic obligation of a government to its people. Similarly, look at housing. There are many people who cannot today afford to have their houses. We have in the last 10 years built 4 crore houses for 20 crore people. Now, for these people, they would have never been able to achieve those a roof over their heads. Today, as part of Jal Jeevan Mission, we have connected in Jal Jeevan Mission 14 crore people, 140 million people to Jal Jeevan, to piped water. Piped water cannot be populism. Piped water is the right of a citizen. So, please let me finish. I think there is a difference between what are the considered rights which a government evaluates very carefully on the basis of its financial resources. Where the central government is concerned, the central government has been very careful. You notice today our fiscal deficit numbers, you look at our inflation. So I don't think anybody can accuse central government of being populist. I think what you are seeing is irresponsible promises made at a state level by some state governments. Please do not compare the two. We are a different party. The party here ruling today is a very different party.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. One, Ibrahim from Times Now.
Actually, when I was listing all that we have done in 10 years, I'm glad you reminded me. Because I think particularly as a foreign minister, I think that is one of the important achievements that we have. Certainly when I come to Bengaluru, it's an achievement I should tout here. We are tracking the establishment of that consulate. What I heard from, the American side is they have to go through a certain process where they have to resource it and get. Sorry, क्या नहीं आया? Drought relief. So, मैं हिंदी में कहूँ या I'll put English में चलेगा? English is better. Okay. So, first of all, who has responsibility for drought relief? Because I had I know the same issue came up when Finance Minister Nirmala ji was here. Okay. So I think you are trying your luck so that you get different answer from me, and you won't get a different answer. So let me tell you one thing. Who has responsibility for drought relief? The responsibility for drought relief is with the State Drought Relief Fund, and there is a central component. And the central component was given. What over and above the drought relief, whenever there is a natural disaster, it can be drought, can be flood, can be cyclone, then the national NDRF also can consider, after evaluating the circumstances, to give additional resources. So at this time, the NDRF has made a decision, not only about Karnataka, about some other states also, and it is waiting for the approval of the Election Commission so that we can proceed with that basis, because right now we are in the middle of election. What I want to say right now is, if the primary responsibility is the state government should not shift the responsibility onto the central government. The state government should not misrepresent what is the duty of the state and what is the duty of the center, because that is what we are seeing. We are seeing misrepresentation. I think Nirmala ji made the position very, very clear, but if any of you have any doubts, I hope what I said has made it even clearer. So that was with regard to the drought relief issue. Regarding चलो खुशी की बात है, कम से कम वो माने कि हम 400 पास करेंगे ना. So the question is asking, is Congress party is worried that this time we will cross 400. I think they have reason to be worried that we will cross 400, but not for the use with which we will put 400. We will put that 400 to use by taking the country forward, by following the Sankalp Patra that we have laid out, by taking the steps that we need to do to accelerate development and growth and inclusive growth in this country, by bringing in, by modernizing the infrastructure, by making sure fruits of development reach everybody. So I think we have seen Modi Sarkar at 200 and below 300. We have seen Modi Sarkar above 300. When you see Modi Sarkar at 400, we will do even more service to the public of India than we have done before.
Prajwal from Republic TV.
First of all, if you look at this young gentleman's question, Congress party is worried we'll cross 400. If we cross 400, what is the relevance of the Congress manifesto? A piece of paper, no? So don't bother. Read our manifesto. That is more important. Secondly, the idea, how can you say we want, our nation has a prime minister. The prime minister of India, whichever the party, whoever the person, starting from, from Jawaharlal Nehru till Narendra Modi, the prime minister of India is the leader of the nation. How can anybody make a statement that we will not accept one leader? Now you can make a statement if you are Rahul Gandhi, who disrespected his own Prime Minister Manmohan Singh during the UPA time. Because if you think you are bigger than the Prime Minister, because the party is actually a family-owned enterprise, then you can make a statement like this. But I'm sorry, the rest of us, we are people who believe in the Constitution. For us, whoever is the Prime Minister, a Prime Minister of India is the Prime Minister of India. He is the nationally accepted leader of India. And I find any statement to the contrary to be completely unacceptable. And I think most people in India would join me in this.
Naren
has happened. So yes, my answer to your question is why I started with the manifesto. We are a party we take our manifesto very seriously. This manifesto, Rajnath ji headed the committee. So many people gave their input. Prime Minister himself sat down in all this thing and spent time, in finalizing what the manifesto is. And if you look at our manifesto, what I want to say is, whatever we say in the manifesto, we will do. I'm so glad you brought up the Article 370 issue. You brought up the Ramar Kovil issue. You brought up you didn't bring it up, but CAA is another issue. So, and good governance, digital. So, do look, our promises are for real. What you see is what you get. So, please look at that manifesto and keep your faith in us very strong.
Thank you, sir. Last question, Maruti Pavgar from Vistara TV. 1 minute. Maruti Pavgar from Vistara TV. No. Already you are asking, no.
Look, we all do what the party obviously thinks we are best placed to do. In my case, the party feels that I am very useful in putting across our point of view in different states. In the last few days, I have been in Mizoram, Rajasthan, Kerala, Gujarat, before that northern Karnataka. If I were contesting a Lok Sabha seat, I would not be able to do it. So I think party has a use for me. I respect, obviously, I respect that as the direction I get from the party. So I assure you that we have excellent candidates in Bengaluru, better than us. Mm-hmm. So my point would be that these are all people who have represented Karnataka. Some of them are representing right now. So I'm very confident that the people of Karnataka will see both the merits of the candidates as well as the value in sending members of parliament to Lok Sabha to strengthen the hands of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, so that what we have promised in the manifesto we will get done in Modi 3.0.
Last question, Maruti Pavgar from Vistara TV.
You see, BJP is a disciplined party. In every election, everybody cannot be a candidate. So I think at the end of the day, people will realize that there is a larger cause for which we are working. And my sense is that whatever concerns people have, they will sort themselves out, because this election is an extraordinarily important election, because we have 10 years of foundation. After 10 years of foundation, we can do really big things in the third term. So people should understand today that this is not just another election, it is something almost historic. So I'm sure that understanding will come.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, Jaishankar sir, for being part of this press conference. Thank you, Mr. Ashok. Thank you, Ashwat Narayan. Thank you, Malvika Avinash. Thanks a lot.